Oh Mann. Hallo und herzlich willkommen zurück zu Let's Play. Nein, nein, nein. Sorry, ich war gerade so, ich fand die Melodie gerade so schön und deswegen habe ich da jetzt gerade einfach so mitgesungen. Sorry. In der letzten Folge haben wir es, warte, ich muss hier so klicken, haben wir es geschafft, das Bettende mit Clover zu erreichen, indem sie uns abschlachtet und irgendwie alle anderen auch. Oh ja. Okay, was jetzt ist etwas schwieriger zu bewerkstelligen, denn wir waren einmal in allen Räumen drin. Das bedeutet, jetzt ist es wichtig, die Kombinationen der Räume zu ermitteln, um die letzten 3 Enden zu bekommen. Wir waren bisher in den Kombinationen 4, 7, 6, 5, 3, 2 und 4, 8, 1, wenn ich mich nicht irre. Es kann auch sein, dass das jetzt falsch ist, was ich sage. Aber das waren die 3 Kombinationen, in denen wir schon waren. Was mir aufgefallen ist, wenn wir hier auf die Räume gehen, die wir schon hatten, es fehlen 2. Es gibt also irgendwo noch 2 Räume, irgendwo in Nähe des 9er Raums, die wir noch nicht hatten. 2 Rätselräume. Was jetzt mein Plan ist, es gibt eine Sache, die ich ausprobieren möchte, bevor ich mein Gehirn anstrengen muss. Also ich muss mein Gehirn jetzt schon auch noch anstrengen, ja. Also, es gibt eine Sache mit Clover, die ich ausprobieren möchte. Nämlich, falls ihr euch erinnert, in unserem ersten Playthrough war es, dass Clover uns etwas erzählen wollte über ein Experiment, wo Seven aber dazwischen geplatzt ist, wo wir Clover ein Lesezeichen gegeben haben. Und ich glaube, dass das uns Vertrauen zu Clover gibt, dass sie uns vielleicht in dem Ende also mit dem Axtende nicht tötet. Das heißt, was ich jetzt machen möchte, offline, so, ist, ich werde das Lesezeichen holen von Santa. Dann werde ich mit Clover und Seven in den Raum gehen, wo ich Clover das Lesezeichen gebe. Und dann werden wir nochmal in die Kapitänskajüte gehen, wo Clover dann durchdreht. Und ich hoffe, dass dieses Ende anders wird, weil wir das Vertrauen von Clover mit dem Lesezeichen uns erkaufen. Ja, das ist jetzt mein Plan. Ich werde euch zuschalten, sobald etwas Neues passiert. Also sobald irgendwas kommt, was wir noch nicht hatten. Im besten Falle bedeutet das, dass wir uns erst gegen Ende sehen. Also gegen Ende der Kapitänskajüte. Wir werden sehen. Also, ich weiß nicht, unsere Enden, wie das dann enden wird. Aber auf jeden Fall werde ich euch dann zuschalten, wenn es etwas Neues gibt. Ansonsten werde ich versuchen, die Antworten so zu nehmen, wie wir sie bisher hatten. Und okay, ja. Ich bin gespannt. Wir sehen uns. Bis dann. Ich habe diesen Raum jetzt halt schon so oft gemacht, dass ich echt wirklich alles auswendig weiß. Ah, so viel Zeug. Yay. Ich glaube, jetzt ist es soweit. Yay! Wir kriegen jetzt das Lesezeichen. Oh, endlich! Und jetzt erzählt uns Santa irgendwie, dass er Liebe und Hoffnung und so ein Scheiß alles nicht mag. Okay, wir nehmen es, damit wir es nachher Clover geben können. Juhu! Okay. Wir machen Fortschritt. Yay! Hunderätsel. Das sollte eigentlich nicht so schwer sein. Das dann nochmal drehen. Warte, die beiden nochmal drehen. Warte, ich hab's fast. Wow! Das ging schneller als erwartet. Es ist kalt, so kalt. Wir hören uns eine Geschichte über Eis, nein. Kalt, so kalt. Ah, die Antwort hatte ich noch gar nicht. Ups. Aber das ist nichts Neues. Das ist alles was wir schon kennen. Ach, Chemie. Die reden jetzt einfach nur über Sublimieren und Carbondioxid und das ist alles einfach nur ein Vorgespräch, um auf Eis 9 zu kommen. Ja. I heard about it. Its melting point is 96 degrees. Ja, Eis 9. Kann ich jetzt skippen? Nein. Ja, okay, ich möchte skippen, bitte. Junpei was cold as hell. Ja, okay. Können wir jetzt bitte skippen? Wie halt immer wiederholt wird, Ice with a melting point of 96 degrees. I heard it's called Ice 9. Kann ich jetzt skippen? Ja. Gut. Jetzt kommt das, was ich gemeint habe mit wir geben Clover das Lesezeichen. Oh Gott, ich bin heute müde und keine Ahnung. Also nehmt's mir nicht übel, wenn ich ein bisschen aufgedreht bin, oder? Naja. Tja, hier. She didn't respond. Wir tun das mal kurz skippen. Naja. Give her the four-leaf clover. Oh Gott, das wird. Wir geben es ihr. Und dann sagt sie irgendwas von It's a good luck charm. Good luck. Ja, wir wissen, dass er tot ist. Und jetzt hier, what do you think when you hear the word experiment? Das heißt, Clover weiß irgendwas über das Experiment, was hier war vor, ich weiß nicht mehr wie vielen Jahren, da wo Seven ermittelt hat. What is this experiment you were talking about? I can trust you, right? Und das ist, was ich gemeint habe. Wir müssen uns Clovers Trust verdienen. Oh mein Gott. Ich würde so lachen, wenn ich jetzt echt ein gutes Ende draus kriegen würde. Allein nur, weil das ist aber auch der einzige Anhaltspunkt, den ich habe. I'll tell you what happened on this ship 9 years ago. 9 Jahre waren es. Okay, dann sie will mir über dieses Experiment erzählen. Von 9 Jahren, wo Seven ermittelt hat, wo an den Kindern hier Experimente gemacht wurden. Mit Lotus ihren Kindern. He was entirely lost. He had 1000 questions. Oh, ich will's wissen. It was an experiment to test some sort of psychic thing. Ja, das wissen wir auch. Something about communication through these fields that you can't see. Ja. Clover not. Like, think about this. Ach so, ja, okay. Das kennen wir jetzt. Ich skippe das mal wieder und dann... Ah ja. Okay, das ist etwas, was wir noch nicht hatten. Also wir sind jetzt hier im Raum da, also wir sind in die Tür 1 gegangen mit Ace und Clover und Ace ist gerade reingekommen und Junpei sagt gerade, all Junpei wanted was to get rid of Ace. He'd sent Ace to the wheelhouse at the beginning for a reason. There was something he meant to ask Clover and he meant to ask her in private. Das hatten wir vorher nicht, weil wir vorher das Gespräch mit Clover nicht hatten. Geil, Leute. There was something he wanted to ask Clover and he didn't want anyone else hear him ask it. He also knew that Clover would likely remain silent if there was anyone else around when he asked. Nice! That was why he was so desperate to send Ace back to the wheelhouse. Ich bin aufgeregt. Ace opened his mouth, then took another look at Junpei and shut it again. A small smirk appeared on his face. Oh, I see, of course. Ja, jetzt denkt er wieder, dass ich was mit hier Clover am Laufen habe. He looked Junpei over, then glanced at Clover. I apologize for the intrusion. Und ich glaube wirklich, dass ich Clover viel zu jung eingeschätzt habe. Weil ich dachte echt, sie wäre irgendwie so 12 oder 13, aber anscheinend ist sie viel, viel älter. Das überrascht mich jetzt. Das war aber okay. Well, best of luck. Ja, ne, danke, Ace. Ace gave Junpei a knowing pat on the shoulder and left. Okay. Gucken, ob wir das Gespräch jetzt haben oder nicht. Oh Gott, neues Gespräch. Junpei let out a sigh and brushed a few drops of sweat from his forehead. He turned and found himself looking straight into Clover's eyes. She'd heard what Ace had said. She regarded Junpei with caution. What was that about? She was clearly suspicious, and with good reason. Junpei's eyes widened, and he held up his hand in a gesture of innocence. Ach, als ob wir dich jetzt anpacken würden, ganz ehrlich. Oh, no, it's not like that. What's it like, then? I just wanted to hear the rest of that story. Ja, wir haben was Neues, Leute. Ach, ich bin so schlau auf mein Gehirn. Das war jetzt kein richtiger Satz. Ich bin so schlau auf mein Gehirn. Oh Gott. I didn't get a chance to ask you about it until now. What story? About the experiment. Remember? The one you started to tell me in the operating room. You said something about an experiment that happened here 9 years ago. Clover bit her lip. She stared down at the floor for several long moments, and when she spoke, it was barely audible. I'm sorry, but I don't want to talk about that right now. Warum nicht, Clover? I'm just not in the mood, okay? Ja, okay, es ist verständlich, nachdem was mit Snake passiert ist, aber... You understand, right? I keep thinking about my brother. I can't stop. I mean, who would do something like that? Aha, okay, und jetzt ist der Turning Point, weil letztes Mal hat sie ja gesagt, laut ihrer Rechnung müssten es Santa und Seven gewesen sein. Und ich glaube, jetzt ist der Turning Point, wo wir sie davon überzeugen können, dass es keiner von unserer Gruppe war, hoffentlich. To my brother. I can't forgive them. Oh Gott. I'm not gonna let them get away with it. Okay, jetzt muss Junpei hier Junpei sein. They're going to pay for it. I promise. Oder vielleicht hat sie schon ihre Entscheidung getroffen und wir müssen sie jetzt davon abhalten? So. Her shoulders were shaking. Drops of blood had sprung on her lips where she was biting them. Clover, hör auf, tu dir nicht weh. Ich weiß, Clover ist böse und Clover hat uns getötet in mindestens 2 Enden. Aber sie tut mir einfach so unglaublich leid. Und ich möchte ihr helfen. Ich möchte, dass sie mit ihrem Gewissen ins Reine kommt. She whipped it off and looked at Junpei, her eyes fierce and angry. Junpei? Who do you think did it? Her voice was cold and scarcely above a whisper. Okay, das ist jetzt tatsächlich der Turning Point. Junpei gulped. Well, if what Seven said was right, then there would have been at least 2 of them. You need at least 3 people to open a numbered door, and if you subtract Snake, that means there were at least 2 other people. Oh je, oh je, oh je. You're right. So, what does that mean? Well, if we just look at the bracelet numbers, we should be able to figure it out. Junpei, nein! Oh Gott. Okay. Sorry, es hat gerade an der Tür geklingelt. Aber wir machen trotzdem weiter. Machen trotzdem weiter. Also einfach ignorieren, falls es nochmal klingeln sollte. We should be able to figure it out. Who could have opened door 3 with Snake? Und jetzt kommen wir zu dem Punkt, dass es Santa und Seven gewesen sein müssen. Aber ich glaube das nicht, das kann nicht sein. Oder? Well, really, who and who? Or who and who? Also er geht davon aus, dass es entweder 2 oder 3 Leute waren. You mean it could have been 4 people? Well, technically it's possible. I don't know. That doesn't seem very likely. Why? I'll tell you later. Why don't we just assume it was only 2 other people for now? Warum? Es könnten genauso gut 3 gewesen sein. Ich verstehe deine Logik nicht, Clover. Okay, got it. Let's do that then. Then who do you think it could be? Junpei crossed his arms in thought. Snake's bracelet number was 2. Which 2 bracelet numbers added to 2 would give a digital root of 3. Which 2 bracelet numbers added to 2? Ja. Es sind Santa und Seven. Laut dem, was wir im letzten Ende herausgefunden haben. Ich habe Angst. Lasst mich kurz speichern. Jetzt seht ihr auch mal, wie das Speichern hier aussieht. Weil ihr, glaube ich, nicht viel sehen werdet. So, okay. Es sind Santa und Seven. Also gehen wir mal auf Santa und Seven. Would it be Santa and Seven? 3. Ja. 3. Could it be? Were Santa and Seven the killers? Oh, gut, ich hoffe nicht. What's wrong? Clover looked at Junpei and he looked back at her. There was no point in hiding it. He told her his conclusions. That's what I thought. She looked less surprised than he'd expected. Also okay, das ist dann, glaube ich, die richtige Antwort gewesen. Santa and Seven. If it was 2 people, then that's the only combination that works. Okay, das ist wirklich die einzige Kombination, die funktioniert. Oh. Hey, wait a minute there. Don't you think it's a little too early to be jumping to conclusions? Well, all I said is that those 2 would have been able to open door 3 with your brother. There might be other possibilities. Well, what other possibilities? Es gibt keine. He didn't have an answer. He was ready to admit defeat when Clover spoke. Are you saying you think that it was 3 or 4 people? I really don't think that's likely. Why? Yeah, why? Can I borrow your pen and paper? Clover put her hand out expectantly. Junpei pulled out his pen and pad of paper and handed them to her. She opened the notebook and wrote down several simple addition problems. Eventually, she had 8, which provided a digital root of 3. Okay. Ja. Ihr könnt selber lesen, was hier steht. Ich werde es jetzt nicht vorlesen. Okay. Auf den ersten Blick ist das alles okay. What's this? These are the combinations for 3 or 4 people. These 8 combinations are the only possible ones. I see. Alter, Clover hatte voll viel Zeit zum Rechnen. Junpei? Yeah? I can trust you, right? Wir haben Clovers Trust. Ich bin so stolz auf mich, dass ich das rausgefunden habe. Alleine. Of course. Why would you need to ask that? Ach, weil das war echt das Letzte, was ich mir gedacht hatte. Weil ich habe keine Ahnung, wie ich auf die anderen beiden Enden komme. Aber als ich mir halt ich habe mir die anderen Parts alle angeguckt, also so sporadisch durchgegangen, und dann ist mir halt das aufgefallen, das mit dem Experiment, und dann dachte ich, okay, was ist, wenn wir das so und so machen? Und ich bin so stolz, dass ich das mit meinem eigenen Gehirn rausgefunden habe. Really? Yeah. So, then I should get rid of B, D, G and H, right? Ach, das wäre dann die Kombination, wo wir mit drin wären. Okay. Of course. Just cross them out. Ja, wir waren es nicht. Also, ich kann bestätigen, Clover, wir waren es nicht. And you should take off yours too. The ones with 4. So, what does that leave? A and E. Und zwar... Ace, Santa und June. Oh je. Oder Ace, Santa, Seven und Lotus. Uiuiui. Wait. It can't be A. Why not? Because June's in that one. There's no way in hell she'd do something like that. Are you sure? I'd bet my life on it. Ja, okay, gut. Wir haben unser Leben gerade darauf verwettet, dass June gut ist. Ich weiß nicht, ob June gut ist. Es kann sein. Ich bin mir bei June noch nicht ganz so sicher. Okay then. Then I can cross off A too, right? Yeah. Well, what have we got left? E. Ace, Santa, Seven und Lotus. Do you know what this means? Everyone besides me, you and June would be working together. Das sind halt echt harte Anschuldigungen. Do you think that's likely? If there were 4 people working together, they wouldn't be very cautious. I don't think they tried that hard to hide what they were doing if they outnumbered us, right? Well, you do have a point. And besides, if Ace and Seven are working together, they could have easily gotten rid of me when I went to the shower room with them. But they didn't. They didn't even try anything. Okay. If they were the killers, why wouldn't they? Her voice was calm, but Junpei had only to look her in the eyes to know it was a forced calm. There were tears forming at the corner of her eyes, and she was blinking furiously to keep them back. Perhaps by attempting an objective analysis of who might have killed her brother, she had been able to distance herself from the harsh reality of his death. Ich weiß nicht, wo das hier hinführt, und es gefällt mir nicht. The more she struggled to act unconcerned, the more Junpei felt his heart tighten. Okay. Yeah, well, that doesn't make sense. It seems pretty unlikely that it was as many as 3 or 4 people. Yeah. Then that means there's a good chance it was Santa and Seven. That's how it looks. But why would they do it? Ja, das ist die Frage, die ich habe. Santa und Seven haben keinen Grund dafür. Weil wir wissen ja, dass Seven eigentlich gut ist. Seven ist ein Kopf. Also, ich weiß nicht. There was a moment of silence. I think I know. Huh? What is it? He laid his hand gently on her shoulder. He was close. So close to the answer. Fick dich, Ace! Fick dich! Es wurde gerade spannend! When Ace chose the worst possible moment to return. He raised a knowing eyebrow and then spoke. Ja, weil wir hier gerade irgendwie halb am Kuscheln sind. Have I interrupted something? Ja. Ace, ehrlich gestanden, ja. Niemand sagt es. What do you want? There was something I wanted to speak with you about, Junpei. Could you come with me for a moment? Okay. He turned on his heel and walked back toward the wheelhouse. Junpei looked over at Clover. He gave her a short nod, hoped that she would be willing to talk to him again later, and followed Ace. Oh mein Gott, das ist gerade so viel Zeug, Leute. Oh Mann, ich bin so aufgeregt. What did you want to talk about? Ace looked at Junpei and smiled. Perhaps more of a smirk than a smile. Komm schon, Ace. There was something I wanted to check. Yeah, what's that? If you'll excuse me. Ach so, und jetzt tut er das Ding raus. Um zu sehen, dass wir eigentlich geschummelt haben vorhin beim Auslosen von den Zimmern. With no warning, Ace slipped his hand into the pocket of Junpei's vest. Hey! What the hell are you doing? He reached for Ace's arm. But it was already too late. In the older man's hand were the pieces of paper Junpei had balled up hidden in his pocket. Just as I thought. You switched them, didn't you? When we voted. Ah, well, I can't say that I care. I managed to get through the numbered door I wanted, despite your mischief. Why did you... Oh, simply curiosity. I hope you won't think ill of me for it. Niemals, Ace. Ich mag dich, Ace. Du bist toll. Ace smiled, gave Junpei a friendly pat on his shoulder, and then turned on his heel and left. It was a small defeat, but it was a defeat. Junpei had lost the upper hand, and he knew it. He could feel his stomach begin to tense. Okay, das war jetzt das neue kleine Extra. Ich werde weitermachen wie bisher und werde euch dann nochmal zuschalten, wenn etwas Neues passiert. Ja, machen wir es so. Bis gleich. Wir haben einen neuen Gesprächsstrang, Leute. Kapitänskajüte. Wir haben die Leiche von Zero, in Anführungszeichen, gefunden. Und Junpei sagt gerade, even if he wasn't one of us, there's no way that man could be Zero. Don't you get it? The letter that spells Zero on a TV screen. The captain's clothes he got on. And of course the bracelet with the 0 on it. It's too obvious. Look, the 0 right here. This dead body is 0. Doesn't that seem kind of funny to you? Okay, das Gespräch hatten wir vorher wirklich nicht. Ich glaube, Junpei und Clover sind jetzt auf so einer Wellenlänge. You're right. Only an idiot would see through something like that. No, that's not the point. I'm not trying to make fun of them for thinking a trick like this would work. I'm sure they didn't think it would work. Which makes me wonder, why did they do it? I think this is a challenge. A challenge for the person who's really behind all of this. He's making fun of us. Don't you get it? If whoever killed this guy really wanted us to think this corpse was Zero, they'd never have put a bracelet on him. Walking about with a Zero bracelet would be like hanging a sign around your neck that said, I did it. Anyone with a brain would be able to see that this guy is supposed to look like everything Zero is supposed to be. Okay, I see. Es ist nicht Zero, aber das war mir schon vorher irgendwie ein bisschen klar. Just like we did. The killer must have known we wouldn't think he was Zero, and put the bracelet on him anyway. Do you know why? Why? Like I said, he's mocking us. Too bad, suckers! This isn't Zero! It's the same bad joke a lot of criminals like to play. They just sit back and watch people run in circles. Zero, also der richtige Zero, ist echt schlau. Schlau und ein krankes Mad Genius. Look, here, I am! What's wrong, guys? Come on, catch me if you can. That's really twisted. But it almost seems kind of childish. Yeah, you're right. It's really childish. It's like, it's just a game to whoever this person is. That's what seems funny to me. Es ist doch eigentlich ein Spiel. Das No-No Game ist einfach nur ein großes Spiel. Junpei bent down next to the corpse. Alright, let's get back to the point. Who killed this man? I don't know. And what's this guy's deal? Who is he? How would I know that? If I knew anything, I would have told you. You have no idea who he is? Why would I? Junpei sat back on his haunches and thought. We should check and see if he's got anything on him that might tell us who he is. Schon wieder neue Sachen zu tun. Ich bin voll angespannt gerade. Mir fehlen schon die Worte. Es ist auch relativ warm heute und ich schwitze und bin aufgeregt. Give me a hand here, Clover. What? We've got to flip him over. Alter, wenn Ace jetzt reinkommt, das wird nicht gut aussehen für uns beide. How else are we gonna search his pockets? Clover didn't move. Junpei had no choice but to move the body on his own. Ach komm schon, Clover. Ist doch nur ein toter Mensch. He grabbed hold of an area not completely covered in blood and shoved. It took a moment, but eventually Junpei felt the man's bulk begin to shift. But just as it did, something fell from the man's left wrist. Ja, klar. Das Bracelet. The bracelet with Zero on the face. Alter, die Hand. Oh mein Gott. Lastly, let us discuss how to remove the bracelets. There are only two ways to do so. 1. You escape from this ship. 2. Your heart rate reaches 0. In other words, once the bracelet is taken outside the confines of the ship or detect that its wearer's heartbeat has fallen to 0, it will shut down automatically. Ja. Der hat eindeutig kein Herzschlag mehr. Junpei stared at the bracelet. This man, he's dead, isn't he? Huh? No, it's just... I guess I didn't really think about it until right now. If his bracelet's off, that means he's dead. Well, it's pretty obvious that he's dead. You don't really need to look at his bracelet to figure out that he's dead. Yeah, I guess you're right. It is pretty obvious. Was ist gerade mit Junpei los? He looks a lot better than the other bodies we've seen though, you know? I mean, if there wasn't all this blood, he'd almost look like he was still alive. Ich check grad nicht, worauf Junpei hinaus will. I mean, I know it's kind of a messed up thing to say, but he kinda has it better, you know? Dying from a bomb going off inside you. I mean, that's just... Some of Snake's bones went right through his skin. Sag das nicht zu Clover! Oh Gott, das arme Kind! I think the explosion must have thrown me against the wall or something. There was a broken bone just sticking out of his left arm. Junpei, halt die Fresse! Was machst du denn? Suddenly Junpei realized what he was saying. Ja bitte, das arme Kind! How could he have been so cruel? He clapped his hands over his mouth. But it was already too late. Oh, das arme Kind. He turned to look at Clover. She was staring at him furiously. What did you just say? Oh God, das arme Kind. Her words sounded cold. He knew an apology could hardly atone for what he'd done, but he tried anyway. Oh man, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have said that. I really don't know what I was thinking. I mean... No. That's not what I'm talking about. What did you say about his arm? Arm? Yes, his left arm. You said it, didn't you? Well, yeah, I did, but... Ich bin verwirrt. I mean, didn't you see it too? Of course not. I could barely look at him. Clover took a quick, deep breath. Are you sure it was his left arm? Junpei thought back. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. And he had a broken bone, right? What the hell are you getting at here? Just shut up and answer me! She shoved her face closer to his. He could see the fire in her eyes. Junpei winced and swallowed. Yeah, he did. It was pretty bad too. His bone was sticking out of the arm. No sooner were the words out of his mouth than Clover's expression changed. Suddenly she was crying. Was habe ich gemacht? Junpei wasn't sure what to do. Ja, ich weiß auch. Thank you. It was close to the last thing he had expected her to say. Junpei had no idea what had just happened. Ja, ich habe auch keinen Plan. Danke, Junpei. Wir sind uns einer Meinung. He didn't think he'd done anything worthy of thanks, and he couldn't understand why she would have chosen that moment to begin crying. So he simply stood there, confused. Warum umarmst du sie nicht einfach? Thank you, Junpei. She thanked him again, and then something even stranger happened. Hä? Clover threw herself into Junpei's surprised arms. I'm not even asking. Ich hab keine Ahnung. Hey, what's going on with you? I'm sorry, it's just, I'm so happy. Hä? Why? The body in the shower room. It isn't his. It isn't my brother. Was? Wie bitte? Was? Huh? It's not Snake. Wie bitte? Was? Why on earth would you think that? Because his left arm is... Was? Saya X stopped working. She stopped herself. I'm sorry. I really shouldn't be talking about this. Junpei decided it would be prudent not to press her for any more information. Was ist... Wie kommst du darauf, dass es nicht... Also... Hä? If she did not wish to tell him, she certainly had a reason for doing so. Perhaps more importantly, however, if Clover was so certain, then she was likely right. Snake lebt! Ah! Snake lebt! Ich bin gerade voll happy. Ich weiß nicht warum, aber Snake lebt! That meant that the body in the shower room wasn't Snake. It wasn't much, but that knowledge lifted some of the weight from Junpei's heart. Mein Herz ist gerade voll fröhlich. He's still alive. I'm so happy. Tears shone in her eyes. Those tears melted Junpei's heart. As she cried, she pushed herself up against his chest like a child. Alter! Junpei put his arms around her and held her tight. Junpei, you were right. No matter what happens, you can never lose hope. Und das alles nur, weil wir das verfickte Lesezeichen gegeben haben. Oh mein Gott. Ah, ist das das gute Ende? Ist das das gute Ende? Ah. You have to remember what's most important, and that's to have faith and to have love. If you can remember all of those, that'll bring you good luck. Oh. Clover reached into her pocket and pulled something out. Alles nur wegen dem Lesezeichen. It was a laminated bookmark with a 4-leaf clover. I only made it here because you gave me this. Oh Gott, mein Herz blutet gerade vor Freude. I was suspicious of everybody and I was angry and miserable. But because I had this 4-leaf clover, because of what you said to me, Junpei hadn't thought his words would have such an effect on her. Her words were making him feel a little awkward. Oh, so süß! Thank you so much, Junpei. She looked up at him. He scratched his nose and pretended to notice something interesting somewhere else in the room. Oh, das ist so süß! If you really want to thank somebody, then you should be thanking Santa. Santa? Why? Well, he was the one who gave me that thing. And the words for each leaf, I get it from him too. Oh. So süß. Then suddenly, Clover broke away from Junpei. Oh Mann, ich dachte schon, sie würde ihn küssen. Das wäre voll süß gewesen. Huh? He looked confused. He hadn't thought she'd reacted that poorly. Clover began to pace across the room. 6 steps to the left. 6 steps to the right. Another 6 to the left. And then she stopped. Did Santa really tell you those things? Her eyes were serious, but not angry. Yeah, he did. Did I say something wrong? Oh no, not at all. In fact, this could be really good news. Ich check's schon lange nicht mehr. I think. You think? Santa knew about the words and the clover. The only people who should know about that are the other subjects. Subjects? Oh Gott. Also ich mache gerade ein voll heftiges Facepalm, weil ich keine Webcam habe, um euch das zu zeigen, aber... Fuck. The other people who were in the experiment 9 years ago, with my brother and me. Oh, fuck. Oh Gott. In dem Experiment von 9 Jahren. Snake war ein Teil, Clover war ein Teil und Santa war ein Teil. Die Puzzleteilchen fügen sich langsam zusammen. But he's blind. And I was part of the Nevada test group. Okay. So neither of us would be able to recognize the faces of the people who were on this boat. Whoa, 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 whoa! Time out! Junpei held up his hands. He took a deep breath and let it out. Let's just calm down for a second, okay? Start from the top. Don't start with the end, and then jump to the middle. You gotta start at 1 and then move to 2, and 3, and 4, and so on. Wir lernen zählen. If you don't tell me stuff in the right order, I'm never gonna able to figure it out. Clover nodded. Alright, let's start with this experiment. What happened on this boat 9 years ago? Do you know about morphogenic fields? He did, and the realization sent chills down Junpei's spine. Alright, how about this? The theory of the telepathic mechanism. Junpei recounted what Lotus had told him earlier. Clover nodded. Ja, dieses ganze Zeug über die Telepathie. Telepathy, huh? Well, that's not really it, but I suppose it's similar. Similar. So they were testing telepathy on this ship? Yeah, I guess so. So what exactly did they have you guys do? The same thing that we're doing now. Exactly the same thing. Was? What? Danke, Junpei. The nonary game. Alter, what the fuck? 9 people were put in this boat, and 9 others were put in a building in Nevada, and the game started. Junpei grabbed the sides of his head. Look, I'm sorry, but I don't get it. What do the nonary game and some telepathy experiments have to do with each other? Clover bit her lip. She blinked back sudden tears. What had happened to her in Nevada? The ability to access a morphogenic field is affected by a couple of things. The first is epiphany, and the other is danger. Epiphany, ist das nicht Mitgefühl oder so ähnlich? I'm not sure. You know, sometimes when you're up against a really tough problem, and then the answer just kind of pops into your head? That's an epiphany. Ach so, Epiphanie. Okay, epiphany. Okay, I know. I understand. And what you learn from the epiphany can be transmitted with telepathy. Oh je, okay, jetzt muss ich mich konzentrieren. Oh je. When you add danger to that equation, then it gets easier to transmit information over telepathy. Okay, ich verstehe. So you're saying that the nonary game was supposed to introduce that element of danger? Yeah, but it couldn't be just any old danger. It had to be life and death. And someone did actually die. Ja, das hat, Seven hat auch gesagt, in dem anderen Ende hat Seven auch gesagt, dass er sich sicher war, dass jemand gestorben ist. A girl. Junpei felt a sudden grip of despair on his heart. Something deep and distant and powerful squeezed, and for a moment he felt very, very empty and alone. She was on a boat with my brother. I was in Nevada, so I never met her, but I did hear her name. Oh Gott. Was war's? Her name was... Fick dich, Ace! Alter, Mann! Es macht mich aggressiv, dass Ace immer dann reinplatzt, wenn Clover uns was Elementares erzählen möchte. The sound of the door opening was like a gunshot. Junpei spun around. Oh, my apologies. Ja, fick deine apologies, Ace. I seem to have disturbed you. Mal wieder! Ace, you two must have strong stomachs. I can't imagine how you could stay in this room for so long. Ach, die Leiche interessiert doch niemanden mehr. Ace glanced down at the floor, at the corpse covered in blood. At any rate, Junpei, would you be so kind and come and help me with something? I'm having a little trouble, and I could really use your assistance. Come on, it'll only take a moment. With that, he turned and walked back toward the communications office. Clover waited until he was out of sight, then spoke in a small, quiet voice. I don't want Ace to hear us. We can talk about this later. Huh? Hey, wait! Clover ignored him. From outside, Junpei could hear Ace calling. Junpei, what are you doing in there? Hurry up! Ugh! Damn! Grumbling to himself, Junpei stumped off toward the communications office. Mann! Okay, ich werde jetzt nicht weiter skippen, also ich werde euch jetzt nicht rausschneiden, sondern wir werden es jetzt einfach zusammen machen. Während ich euch ein bisschen erzähle, was ich so denke über das ganze Zeug, was wir so rausgefunden haben. Wir wissen ja, dass Seven, also Cop 7, hier war. Um diesen Fall aufzuklären von den vermissten Kindern. So. Jetzt wissen wir, dass bei den vermissten Kindern nicht Seven, Santa, Clover und Snake ebenfalls dabei waren. Was ziemlich überraschend ist. Kann es sein, dass dieses Nonary Game, was wir hier spielen, dass es einfach eine Reinkarnation, sage ich jetzt mal, von dem, was vor 9 Jahren war. Dass wir das alles nachspielen, dass es hier auch gerade nur so ein morphogenischer Test ist, das wird zu krass. Das heißt, dass vielleicht irgendwo anders, in Nevada oder Arizona oder keine Ahnung wo, ebenfalls 9 Leute sind, die genau das gleiche hier machen und wir uns durch Telepathie... Oh fuck. Nein. Ach man, jetzt muss ich nochmal von vorne anfangen. Ach Gott. Aber ihr könnt mir folgen, oder? Also ihr wisst, worauf ich hinaus will. Das wäre zu krass. Ich muss mich kurz konzentrieren. Okay, gut. Oh, ich bin so aufgeregt gerade. Okay. Jetzt kommt dieses ganze Zeug mit Alice All Eyes. Ja. Okay, es stoppt wieder. All Eyes. Alice. Did that mean... Junpei couldn't hold back. He had to know what was in that file. Ich kann nicht skippen. Die ganzen Hieroglyphen, ne? Each page was covered with strange characters. They looked like tiny drawings of birds, snakes, insects, horned animals, wings, and even kneeling humans. Ja, Hieroglyphen. There were many pages in that file, and each was full of these strange symbols. What the hell is this? Ach so. Okay, jetzt kann ich auf einmal skippen. Die Uranus-Karte, die haben wir letztes Mal auch nicht benutzen können. This must be a key to the library on the bottom deck. So it would seem. The bottom deck, the library. Junpei remembered something he'd heard from Seven when they'd been in the chemical closet. Alice sleeps in a small chamber past the forest of knowledge, beneath the navel of the gigantic. Did beneath the navel means the bottom deck? Wir wissen, wo Alice ist! Did Forest of Knowledge mean a library? If it did, then was Alice in a room somewhere beyond the library? Oh, aber wir haben doch Alices Sarg gefunden. In der Kapelle, wo die Tür 9 war. Aber okay, da war auch was drin, was geklopft hat. Und ich glaube nicht, dass Alice klopft. Außer es sind wirklich Zombies auf dem Schiff, das ich jetzt nicht hoffen möchte. What's wrong? Junpei blinked. Only then he did notice Ace looking at him, curiosity and concern written across his face in equal parts. There was no reason for Junpei to hide his thoughts. He began to explain his theory to Ace. Then he stopped. It wouldn't make sense if Ace didn't know who Alice was supposed to be, so he told Ace everything June had told him. About the Egyptian priestess. About Ice 9. Sie ist so hübsch. And finally, about the woman who wouldn't melt, who had been recovered from the Titanic disaster. He told him about how she had been called All Ice, which had eventually turned to Alice, and how she had been purchased by an English millionaire who called himself Lord Gordain, and how Gordain had hid Alice somewhere on this ship. And you think that he hid her in a small room beyond the library on the bottom deck? Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess so. I see. Ace stared off into the distance, his hand slowly and absent-mindedly stroking his beard. After a few moments, his hand stopped. He turned slowly to look at Junpei, and his brows drew together. Junpei, have you ever heard of the term CAS? Ehrlich gestanden nicht, nein. CAS? It stands for Cells Alive System. It is an advanced technology for freezing and preserving organic matter. Okay, ich verstehe. Put simply, it is a technique that allows one to freeze things without the formation of ice crystals. Ja, das klingt logisch. Normally, if you freeze something fresh, water within its cells expand as it crystallizes, damaging the cell's membrane. Okay, das ist jetzt Bio. Ich verstehe, was Ace meint. Ich hoffe, ihr versteht es auch. Cars, however, works differently. The object to be frozen is supercooled using magnetic fields and then frozen instantly and uniformly, giving ice crystals no time to form. It was originally developed for the preservation of food as an alternative to the normal freezing process. Okay. Now, however, there are rumors that it can be used for other things. What do you mean, other things? Well, there are obvious medical uses, but perhaps also space travel. Space travel? Space travel? Are you serious? Surely you've heard of suspended animation. Cryogenic freezing. Ja, ehrlich gestanden habe ich davon gehört. Und für euch Leute, die Overwatch spielen, also das Blizzard MOBA-Shooter-Ding, Overwatch. Es gibt einen Charakter, der benutzt Cryogenic Freezing. It's a fairly common idea in science fiction books and films. People are sometimes frozen for especially lengthy journeys through space. That was when Junpei understood what Ace was suggesting. Whoa, wait a minute there. Ace looked at him and raised an eyebrow. Are you saying that Alice was frozen using that cast thing? Well, I'm sure the possibility is quite low, but it is a possibility. If this special ice you call Ice 9 does indeed exist, and if cars were used to freeze her into that sort of ice instantaneously, you think she could be alive? Oh mein Gott, Alice war am Leben! Das Ding, was geklopft hat! Unten, bei der Neuner-Tür, das war Alice! Sie war am Leben! Sie ist aufgetaut! Oh, fuck that shit. Wir sind wirklich Zombies am Schiff. Also nicht Zombies, aber andere Zombies. Also, oh Gott. Dieser Playthrough gerade macht mich fertig. Wir lernen so viele News. Well, I can't say for sure, of course. I'm only talking about possibilities. The melting point for Ice 9 is 96 degrees, right? If she were put somewhere where she could reach that temperature. That's nuts. Are you really saying she could have defrosted and started walking about? You're quite right, it does sound unbelievable. But if she had, then we would have an explanation for the man we found dead on the floor. You mean the guy dressed like a captain? Yes. He was dead when we found him. Clearly he was murdered. But if he was murdered, then by who? Alice! Alice ist die Mörderin! Alice ist Zero! Oh Gott, kann das sein, dass Alice Zero ist? Oh mein Gott. It couldn't have been one of us. That would be impossible. In order to enter the captain's quarters, one must first open door 1. The door that requires the Earth key prevented us from accessing door 1. Who was it that opened the door? Santa and Lotus. Right. Clearly the two of them could not have opened door 1, or any other door for that matter. Who else then could have done so? Alice! Oh God. Junpei thought for a second. No, nobody. After Santa and Lotus had used the Earth key, they turned back and met up with Junpei and Ju, who had just returned from Edek. The 4 of them then processed to return to the large hospital room to reunite with Ace, Seven and Clover. When Junpei and his team had gone into the shower room, Ace, Seven and Clover had been left in the large hospital room, but they would have been unable to open door 1. Perhaps when Junpei and June had taken the elevator to door 2 then. No, that would have been impossible. They had been gone only 5 minutes. No human being could have run to the captain's quarters, killed the man in there, and run back in 5 minutes. It would be impossible for any of us to be the murderer. That being the case, who could have killed him? Alice! Wouldn't it make sense if his killer was someone who had been in the ship for some time? Oh my god. A person like that would know the ship well. They would know the locations of all the hidden passages and secret doors. The numbered doors would mean nothing to someone like that. It would be a simple thing for them to enter the captain's quarters. Then you're saying the killer was Alice? Oh god! Mein Kopf platzt! It was Junpei's turn to raise an eyebrow. Ace drew his thumb across his lips thoughtfully. Well, this is all only one possible theory. Ich schrei gleich ohne Scheiß. All eyes. Alice. What, was Alice indeed somewhere on this ship with them? Junpei had only one clue. The keycard in his hand. It would, he hoped, grant him access to the forest of knowledge. But beyond that, what waited for him beyond the forest of knowledge? Whatever might be there, however, would have to wait. At the moment, there was nothing Junpei could do. He gripped the keycard tighter and shoved it deep into his pocket. Okay, wow. Ich weiß nicht, wie lange hier das noch geht. Ich würde gerne weitermachen. Also, ach nee. Ich würde gerne zumindest, also bis zum Ende spielen. Ich weiß es nicht. Also bis zu diesem Ende. I'm not sure. Okay, ich habe mir den Code aufgeschrieben gehabt, bei dem wir das letzte Mal so lange gebraucht haben. Wegen diesem scheiß Hexadezimal. 14, 27, 24. Okay. Gut. Good job, Junpei! Geil, okay. Ich bin jetzt gespannt, wie es jetzt weitergeht. We found it! Gott, meine Hände zittern gerade irgendwie voll. Es sind gerade so viele Informationen auf einmal und mein Kopf platzt gleich. Okay, wir tun einfach mal so weit skippen, bis was Neues kommt. Clover hat's mitgenommen. Also Clover hat auf jeden Fall das Zero Bracelet mitgenommen, okay. A note. A note? Yeah. I found it in the pocket of the guy with the captain's clothes. It said something about the darkness of the sinister hand or something. Darkness of the sinister hand? What the hell? Let me see it. But Junpei wasn't going to get to see it. From the other end of the hall, he heard Ace's voice. Hey, Junpei, Clover, what are you two doing? Hurry up! Clover shrugged. I'll show it to you later, alright? Come on, we gotta hurry. Before Junpei could protest, she was gone. Around the corner and off to the long stem to the L. A note. A note. Junpei was curious, but there was something else that bothered him. Her pocket had been bulging far more than it would just from a note. Ja, sie hat das Zero-Ding mitgenommen. Aber nicht die Axt? Okay, geil. Ich würde trotzdem sagen, wir beenden die Episode hier für heute. Sie geht doch schon ziemlich lang und wir werden in der nächsten Folge dann sehen, ob wir in die Library kommen und wie das Ende dann aussehen wird. Ich bedanke mich recht herzlich fürs Zuschauen. Ich hoffe, ihr hattet Spaß. Lasst doch einen Like oder einen Kommentar, wenn es euch gefallen hat. Und ich hoffe, dass dieses Ende gut wird. Ich bin sehr gespannt. Bis dahin, macht es gut. Bye bye.